Hi everyone, we're Group A. It's a pleasure to welcome you guys here. Here is the list of all the group members. This presentation will be divided into two main parts. In the first part, we will present the layoff problems faced by the company and list the factors that affect the layoff. In the second part, we will combine all these issues together and come up with the proposed solutions to the problems. Due to Maxis layoffs, the morale of the company has changed, which has brought negative psychological effects to employees. Also, it has affected the company's image and reputation, and adversely affected the company's future profitability, development, and recruitment. What measures should management implement to reduce the negative emotions of employees and minimize the negative impact to Maxis' reputation and image? The first factor is psychological contract. The concept is a belief and commitment about the terms and conditions of a reciprocal exchange agreement between an employee and an employer. The problem for this factor is what are the psychological negative effects of layoff on the layoff and survivors. Firstly, King claimed that the event that lead to job instability may constitute a violation of the psychological contract. A potentially traumatic experience is likely to change the employee's thoughts and feelings about the next job, as well as expectations of the employer's responsibility. In addition, Porterfield stated, some interviewees who were laid off said their commitments were affected and discussed their depression, sleep problems, and worries about the future, which are caused by the violation of the psychological contract. In the case, as 70% of the company's retired employees have low socioeconomic status, the layoffs seriously violate the psychological contract and may cause health problems for the employees. Bruckner shows that those layoff survivors who previously had a high commitment to an organization, but then believed that they were treated unfairly by the organization, showed more negative reactions, lower organizational commitment, less work hard, high intention to leave. According to the theory of justice, individuals should be treated the same.
Now, I would like to say that the second factor is job satisfaction. Due to the layoffs, the survivors' physical and psychological stress lead to a decrease in their job satisfaction. If the organization does not take an effective solution, the cost of the negative impact is huge. First of all, after the layoffs, survivors' loyalty to the organization decreased. According to Aberbaum, the survivors' identity and loyalty to the organization decreased after layoff. The reason is that the survivors are angry at the organization's layoffs and increase the uncertainty of their jobs. This factor leads to their distrust of the organization. Thirdly, after the layoff, labor shortages and departmental reorganization make survivors' work less efficient. According to Ugerberg, survivors will experience many adjustments within the organization, such as new jobs, additional workload, and unfamiliar processes. This change has led to an increase conflicts between survivors and the managers, and some survivors use absenteeism to escape stress. Thirdly, layoff will also bring public opinion and emotion pressure to managers. Krukani points out that layoffs have a negative impact on the social life and the employees. The loss of the social status of the employment Many families have conflicts because they have no resource of the income. Let us imagine that as manager who implement the layoff plan, they injured the anger of the employment and the pressure of public opinion from the survivors in the organization. The negative effect also lead to a decrease in their job satisfaction.
So factor 3 is about corporate social responsibility. Practice CSR is not just an ethical decision, but also to some degree required by law according to the research evidence. And there are three main factors that it could be a CSR problem for Max. First, from this customer's point of view, they may perceive the company as unethical or lack of social responsibility because they think the company as profit-driven or centered and does not care about its employees at all. This would not only cause damage to Max company's image or reputation, but also harmful to the company's relationship with the customer, as the customers may also stop buying from Max to show their empathy to those employees who get laid off, which will also lead to decreased customers' loyalty. And second is from the employees' perspective. The fact that many of the employees are lower socioeconomic status, many of them are women, single mom, and from Aboriginal area, indicates that employees who are laid off might experience having trouble finding new jobs, and that might put them into financial difficulty later. The employees who will be laid off might resent Max for putting them into financial difficulty, and they might express their upset to media or to their friends and families, which will also damage the company's image and reputation. As for Max itself, if Max is perceived as lack of CSR and incurred a bad reputation in the community, it is very hard for them to reverse this negative image, and this might have a long-term negative impact on Max's sales and employee satisfaction, as well as recruiting new employees in the future. And the following slides are the evidence why Max needs to take CSR more seriously. Both evidence suggests that business can engage in CSR for strategic or ethical purposes, and it is a good way for Max to detach itself from negative image such as profit-driven or unethical. So to bring it together, based on the research evidence mentioned earlier in the slides, these problems are related because the layoff might cause job instability to existing employees and break the psychological contract for existing employees, which will in turn decrease job satisfactions. And for those who are being laid off, they might experience negative impact on their social life, such as losing social status or increase the chance of financial difficulty. And these negative impacts would make the public to perceive Max as unethical, lack of responsibility, which would cause them to dislike the company, cause harm to the company's reputation and image. As these three factors together would affect both the company and its employees significantly, it is necessary to create a strategic plan to address these problems and the blow of the impact.
Thanks for Chopin's presentation. After we understanding these issues, I provide three suggestions to solve these problems. First, we can enhance care for employees for psychological contract. For example, psychology lectures and psychological counseling surveys are held regularly so that employees with high pressure or psychological problems can be effectively relieved. Solution 2 is establish a complete reward and punishment system. So, for example, employees with high performance will receive additional salary rewards, and holidays will provide employees with welfare guarantees and employee safety insurance. The next one is improve employees' knowledge and cultivate CSR spirit. So for example, conduct unified management training before entering the company to improve employees' awareness of the company. In order to prove that these solutions are valid, I have searched for these literatures and studies for your reference. So for the research one, according to Bronckhorst and Alvarez, we can know that one of the necessary factors for a good company is to attach great importance to the psychological health of employees. And when the psychological pressure of employees is released, their contradictions and dissatisfaction with the company will also be elevated. For research two, according to Webb, we can know that the main reason for employee dissatisfaction comes from dissatisfaction with salary or working time allocation. Companies want to solve and maintain good employee relations, and it is effective to increase salaries and increase benefits. The last one for research three, according to Lee and Co, we can know that CSR is necessary for companies to maintain long-term development. So increasing the cultivation of employees' corporate awareness is not only an improvement of employees' knowledge, but also an effective help for corporate image and long-term development.
In short, although layoffs may undermine employee psychological contracts, reduce their job satisfaction, and damage the company's reputation, we still believe that if Max attaches importance to psychological communication with employees and enhances their welfare, then employee will be more loyal to the company. In addition, Maxis should also establish corporation social responsibility to improve the cohesion of employees. This is our reference list, and thanks for your listening.